Doug Maurice, Nathan Baird, and Stephen Means back. Ohio State football, a 39.5-point favorite over Indiana at noon on Saturday in Ohio Stadium. I think we have learned our lesson on this when it comes to the weather report. So I did look that up. Saturday afternoon, according to weather.com, cloudy skies, a shower of rain or wet snow possible, high 41, winds from the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So that's not totally clear, Nathan. That's not 40, and that's not a blizzard, but I don't know. That's a little something. Nathan Baird, 39.5 for Ohio State. The over-under is 58.5. What's your pick?
You're right. It's not completely clear, but it's also, I don't think, conditions that change the nature of the game. I'm going to say 52-6 Ohio State. That would be covering the 39.5, but coming in under the 58.5. And to me, it's just the fact that I think this IU offense is about as bad as it gets. Statistically, it's the worst in the Big Ten. And they're going to play up-tempo, it sounds like. That's what they've played all year. Ryan Day saying he expects the same thing on Saturday. I do not think that is how you beat Ohio State, is by taking a bad team and having it play as fast as a bad offense and having it play as fast as possible and give the ball back to Ohio State as much as possible. And I think this is also a week where, again, things were rough at Northwestern. The Penn State win, as good as that was, people were kind of unsatisfied with. Even the Iowa win, people were kind of like, what's going on with the run game? Like, I feel like this might be a week where Ohio State comes out and exercises some demons, maybe a little bit. I think they have their blood up a little bit to put some stank on it.
What's your pick again? 52-6. So your total is 58, so you're a half point under. All right, you'll be nail biting it with Kyle McCord in late in the game. Nathan Baird.
It's never gone well for me.
Please don't score.
Remember Jack Miller in Nebraska?
Yes, that's right. Steven, what's your pick?
Yeah, I'm 55-6, so I'm over, but for a lot of the same reasons. I don't understand why Indiana is trying to play up-tempo football at all. They should be trying to hold on to the ball for all 60 minutes and make sure that it's a 7-3 game. But listen, that's why I'm not a head coach. I'm just a guy who covers head coaches. I think Ohio State needs a stomper game to let out some of these frustrations of the last couple of weeks, and Indiana just so happens to be the victim on the other side of the field who is terrible enough to allow Ohio State to do that.
Yep. Same range. I got 56-14, so I am fairly convincingly over. I think Ohio State could hit the over itself. I don't think a 60 spot is out of the realm of possibility here. It remains the most shocking result in the Big Ten this year is Indiana beating Illinois in the opener on the first Friday of the season. And everybody was like, oh, maybe Indiana's not terrible. And I was like, no, Indiana is terrible. Illinois completely outplayed Indiana in that game and lost. Indiana started off 3-0, and they have lost every game since then. They're awful. I thought they'd be awful, and I was like, oh, man, I picked Indiana to be awful, and they beat Illinois. They're kind of going to be good. And it's like, no, they are awful. EPA per play, again, it's like a contextual, takes everything into account. Overall, in everything, Ohio State is first. Indiana is 113th. Offense, Ohio State is first. Indiana is 112th. Defense, Ohio State is fourth. Indiana is 83rd. Indiana stinks on a cracker. They are awful. Thank God they're not playing Northwestern. I don't think they're playing Northwestern. Oh, I think Kevin Warren would have to cancel it if they were.
I think that would be so ugly that it would be beautiful to watch. It's like watching a car crash. No zone defense and so ugly it's beautiful. We are getting a look into the mind of Stephen Means on this podcast. So we are all giving the 39.5. All giving the 39.5. Stephen and I are over. Nathan is under. Those were our picks for Ohio State against Indiana.